All right, I know it's getting late, but I wanted to do a quick video here on something that it's easily missed, but it's very important, I think, as I'm doing this video. And as I was thinking about this today, there is a ABC News article that came out, calls it exclusive, and it talks about Israel warning people living in the U.S. about possible Iranian attacks. Now, when you first glance at it, you might not give much heed to it. But the more I thought about this, I thought this article, this exclusive by abcnews.go.com, that's the article. The heading actually is exclusive. Israel warns U.S. Jews. Iran could strike here. Think about that. Iran could strike where? In the United States? Now, Daryl, why are you talking about this? What's the big deal? Well, I've been putting articles on my Facebook, and you can go look at them at Daryl Lawson or DarylLawson.com, and then skip over to Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. But you need to pay attention to this. I've been putting articles about false flag events, about TSA checkpoints popping up everywhere in America. One just came out recently in Santa Monica. The military and the local police are getting together, or have been getting together, and putting up Nazi checkpoints all inside of America. I mean, this is crazy. This is not just the border anymore. This is at football games. This is in Santa Monica. This is hundreds of miles from any border inside the heartland of America. What, last year there was like 9,000 TSA checkpoints. Totally satanic apparatus, TSA, right? It's totally Nazi checkpoint. It's got nothing to do with Al Qaeda. It's got to do with making people in America more comfortable with a total police state. All right, this is just a testing, and as they do checkpoints in airports, they want to see how people react. Then they want to increase it with checkpoints on the highways, just a little ways from the border. Then they want to go totally inside America. Now these checkpoints are not only going on the borders or around the borders, 10, 15 miles in the border. Now they're 50 miles. Now there's 100 miles. Now they're all the way in Santa Monica, way past LA, all right, or around LA there. And I live in Southern California here, and I just posted that one a few hours ago. But all across America, TSA checkpoints are popping up everywhere. What's the military doing in the United States? What's the military doing on the streets in America? Last week I told you in my other videos and on my Facebook, the articles and the information about the military doing drills over Los Angeles. And this is happening all across America. What's going on? And now they want to do it at the football game, the big Super Bowl tomorrow, right? They want to do the TSA checkpoints, full body scanning at the Super Bowl. The statistics show that you're more likely to die of a cork hitting you from a champagne bottle than Al Qaeda, right? Now, I'm bringing it back to this article here, but just finishing up with the TSA checkpoints, they're increasing all over America. Now they're going to be at the Super Bowl tomorrow. They're going to be in the malls, the train centers. They're going to be where else? Everywhere else. What are they doing there? They're getting people ready for the grid. Well, the grid, they're setting up a grid, I call it the BEAST system, BEAST, the animal, the crazed animal system, the police state system. They're setting it up in America so nobody can escape it, right? Did you see the movie director, James Cameron, just announced last week or this week that he was moving out of America? I think he lived in the LA area. He's got a nice mansion over here somewhere, I think it is. But he's moving to Australia in the outback, bought hundreds of acres of land. He's getting out of here. Why? The number of rich and famous and elitists have been already leaving America, And now James Cameron, the movie producer who produced Avatar and the Titanic, those blockbuster movies, has announced that he's totally moving, uprooting, and going to the outback on some kind of lake somewhere. Why? Is this just a coincidence? No. These people have friends in high places and in areas of information that the common Joe doesn't have, and they understand that the crap is going to hit the fan. It's already beginning to hit the fan. They know about the checkpoints. They know about the scanning. They know. I was sitting here today in a university, or a university here in Southern California, watching just a local baseball game with some of the locals here. And I was just looking in the sky above the baseball diamond and across the campus there. And there was planes going crazy, flying their chemtrails, their chemical trails all over the skies. What is going on? You have the TSA. Now, what are they doing? They're stopping people for what? It started to freak people out. They're saying, what's going on? Why are you stopping people? Is there an emergency? Brings me back to this article. Israel warns of attacks in the United States against Jewish facilities and beyond, right? I'll read this article in a moment here, but I'm tying it together. What is going on? People are realizing that the grid of the police state is being put in place in America and in Canada and in different parts of the world right now, so nobody can escape this grid. What do you mean nobody can escape? Yes, the New World Order, Lucifer worshiping people have been planning a one world government for years. Now they know they have Obama in place. They know they have sold out people to their system in place, and they need it, and they need it in their minds. They need to put it together now. This is 2012. They've been waiting for this year. They got their people in position, and they want to strike now at the heart of America. What do you mean strike? All this TSA is not just checkpoints, it's radiation checkpoints, which is not good for people. They don't protect people with lead plates. They just shoot people with radiation all around the airports, now the malls, now the train stations, the bus stations. Now there's the full body scanners at the Super Bowl, on the streets, not just a little ways from the border of Mexico, but now all inside of America. It's called the grid of the beast. They don't want anybody to escape outside of America. It's not basically protect. They say it's protecting people from Al Qaeda, but it's actually that's a scam. That's actually a cover story. They actually are doing this so nobody can escape from America, not come into America. Now, and I'm saying, I tell you, if you haven't read the book of Revelation lately, especially Revelation chapter 13 in the Bible, that shows that particular chapter and the whole book of Revelation, those 22 chapters in the book of Revelation in the Bible show and tell people that the beast, the Antichrist, the one world dictator will arise and set up his police state so that nobody can escape his grip, and that he's going to make and force people to accept his mark, his tattoo computer system on their right hand or their forehead. And so he's going to trap them. He's going to set up TSA checkpoints all over America, these Nazi-style checkpoints of control. He's got to institute the FEMA concentration camps, which he's doing right now. He's got to change the laws to give him the power to imprison any American citizen or anybody else in FEMA concentration camps so they can't get out. And he's going to force them to join his system. If they don't, they're going to die. This is what's happening right here. Bringing back to this article right here, I'm flagging this article particularly. It's a video and an article because it's stating that Israel is warning events that could happen in America. Now, what's this all about? This has to do with the governments of the United States, Israel, the Vatican, and the EU, primarily Britain, the British government. They have gotten together, the dark sides of these governments, and they're planning false flag events. When you see articles like Israel warns the U.S. Jews of possible attacks of the Iranians in America, it's if you know what to look for and what's actually going on, they're actually saying these governments are getting ready to do false flag events, their own government terrorism in America, and they're going to blame it on the Iranians, right? Okay, this is what this article means. And this came to me today. I thought, you know what? This article is giving the insight of all hell to break loose from the governments, these governments inside America. They're doing it, not the Iranians. I posted a video yesterday on the Iranian president, right? Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, is that his name? Yes. Well, did you know that he's a professor? He's a university professor. Man, the guy is highly intelligent. You don't hear that too often at all, if at all, in the media about the intelligence of the Iranian president. No, why? Because they have to paint him as a stupid, evil dictator for anybody to pay or to give the war machine of these governments any credence. They want the Iranian president to be evil so that they can attack him and say, well, we're just saving America from these possible attacks. Now, I think this article even goes farther and says that they are planning attacks in America, government-sponsored attacks, and they're going to blame it on Iran so that when they do attack Iran in the near future, I believe, they're just going to say, we're just protecting America. And it's not protecting, it's a false flag event. A false flag event is when a government, a corrupt government, brings on terrorism by itself on its own people and blames it on another country, and then goes to war or goes against another country, another entity, and says we're going to be the saviors, just like Hitler did when Hitler burnt down his own parliament building and then brought in laws saying I have to protect the German people by taking away your rights and your freedoms. I have to do this, he said, to protect you. All the meantime, he burnt down his own parliament. What are they called? The Reichstag, right? And so he burnt down his own parliament on purpose to get the people afraid. Then he knew they were in fear, and so he came in as the savior of Germany, and he put together his laws and his NDAA, National Defense Authorization Acts, right? Taking away people's freedom, giving him all power to put people in what? Concentration camps. We're seeing the rise of a new dictator here in America. And if you've been watching my videos, you know that I believe Obama is the Antichrist, the one that has been chosen to set up the new world government, the demonic world government. Now, they know they have a short period of time to do this. The Jews are in on it. The Israeli government, I mean, you have the Vatican, you have the Brits, the EU countries, and then you have, of course, America. That's why China right now and Russia are up in arms, and they know what's going on behind the scenes. But the New World Order knows that the dumbed down, fluoridated, chemtrail head American people, most of them are so filled with toxins that they're not going to pay attention to Russia or China. Well, those are commies, right? They're not going to pay attention to the Iranians. Those are just Muslims, and they're betting and counting on that so that you don't pay attention to these false flag events. And let me read this article to you. Daryl, what are you saying? I'm saying the Antichrist is arising on the earth, taking over America right before your very eyes. Now listen. It says exclusive, Israel warns U.S. Jews. Israel, a foreign country, warns U.S. Jews, they add in there, Iran could strike here. This article here, I think it was posted February 3rd, which was yesterday. You need to pay attention to this. When these articles are coming out, ABC is just an arm of the CIA. And the ABC is just a branch of the government, all right?